Good evening, everybody. How's everyone doing this evening? It's a beautiful day in Toronto. Coming down into the evening, just had a beautiful sunset. Depending on where you're joining me in the world, it might be already morning, evening. It's nighttime over here. My guest is coming in from Trinidad today. So, Trinidad and Tobago, the twin island from where I'm from. You are listening to the songs of course, you know Calabash by now. If you are a regular to this show, you know that we love us some Calabash, led by Anthony Pierre. This song is from Whence We Came Now. You know, I don't own the rights to the music, but I do have permission to play the music. Gotta say that, these days with YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram, all these different things playing the game on us. So, welcome to Victory Speaks. It's the Inspired Conversation series where iron sharpens iron. That's you and me sharpening each other. Now, before we really get started, get deep into the conversation, get comfy, get your drinks, get your snacks, throw. Well, now we don't even need to throw on a warm throw because it's gotten warmer here in Toronto, but it's still a little nippy at night. Now, you never know when those wisdom nuggets are going to drop. So I always tell you, grab a notepad, man, get a pen. Now, share this with your friends, with your families, because we want everybody to be a part of this conversation. I'm your host, Nicole Waldron, your voice of victory and your mental fitness coach. And I'm on a mission, people, to inspire you to live a life of victory, a victorious lifestyle. You see, we all need to cultivate that victory mindset as we mind our minds. As I always tell you, we have many conversations all the time, good, bad, funny, you name it, we have it. And I have had countless of inspired conversations, and I've decided I needed to share because sharing is caring. Now, we all have a story to tell. There's always something we can learn from each other. We can inspire each other to walk boldly in our life's purpose. We need to navigate the perplexities that present itself in our journey, this journey of life. And what better way than to get some inspiration from others and their journeys? We need to shine lights on ordinary people doing extraordinary things because we are all able to do things of greatness in our daily lives. And, we need to help prepare each other to live this victorious lifestyle and learn from each other. Ignite the fires in each and every one of us. Ignite our gifts. Shine a light on each and every one of us because we matter. You matter. I matter. And everyone in your life matters. Now, tonight I have a really special guest. Now, if you've been tuned into my Facebook page, you would have heard some of his music. If you tuned into my Instagram page, you would have heard some of his music. He is extraordinary. He is André J Donawa. And my friends, let me tell you, he started playing the violin from the tender age of 8. Can you believe it? His shared desire to play the instrument was soon realized by his mother. Thank God for wise moms, whom, after much deliberation, decided to grant him his first violin. Under the tutorship of Mr. Anselm Waters, he excelled into becoming a promising solo performer at age 11. His goal was always to become a better musician, to bring awareness to the violin niche in Trinidad and Tobago, and also introduce a new style of playing, incorporating classical elements with our Caribbean ancestry. He is the founder of one of the most original string groups in the Caribbean, Alternative Quartet. And it is there that Andre found an avenue to develop his talents as a composer, arranger, music producer, and music professor. André J. Donawa has performed with the Queen of England, the Hall of the Americas, Washington, D.C., music festivals across the Caribbean, such as St Lucia Jazz, Fusion Barbados, just to name a few. And he's played with many artists. He has collaborated and performed for mainstream music icons such as, listen to this, Heather Headley, Machel, Montano, and Len's Boogsie Sharp, just to name a few. And you know what? He is so respected in his field. Now, we don't have time to waste here. We need to get on with this. So I'm going to bring him on. Help me welcome him with a beautiful round of applause. Bringing him to the victory speech stage is André J Donawa. Yes, he has my name. And if you haven't figured it out by now, yes, we are related, you know. We
Yes,
got a
we
good
are.
like that. You know, when you have family doing great things, you gotta celebrate them. How you doing today, cuz?
I'm great, Nicole, and how are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I am so excited to have you on. It's like I've
My
been planning this
pleasure.
like I'm like, okay, I gotta get him on. When am I getting him on? He's so busy. He's so famous now. Can I even I don't even have your autograph. What the heck?
That's the least of your worries. Hi, good
Man,
evening,
yeah,
everyone.
man.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, all the viewers. Thanks for tuning in.
So
Thanks for
how you
tuning
doing
in.
today?
I'm great. I'm great. Just taking it easy, enjoying the Easter vacation.
Life in Trinidad.
Recalibrating.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
How are things with the pandemic in Trinidad and Tobago right now?
It's pretty okay. I mean, it could have been worse. We are
Mhm.
managing it in a very responsible way.
Right.
They're always gonna be the deviants out there who's gonna, ignore
Mm.
all protocols. But other than that, collectively, holistically, we're doing okay.
You know what? I think everywhere in the world we're having that right now. How was it for you as a musician and other musicians out there during this pandemic? Because I mean, this is your livelihood. For
Yeah,
many people, this is all that they do. For some, they have other things. But how has it affected the musicians and artists like yourself?
yeah. Well, the paradigm has changed. We usher in a new era of creativity and innovation. So for me personally, I would have had live performances and so forth. You there?
Yes, I'm right here. I'm
Oh,
right here.
okay, okay.
You're just we just
Yeah, yeah,
profiling you. I know you.
yeah.
I look
Okay,
like
no
I
problem.
disappeared from the screen. I know. Are you
Yeah,
right there?
like, hey, where's Nico? Yeah. So as I was saying, it's a time where we have to be really innovative and change the way we present our craft, because before we would have had live performances where we would have been up close and personal with our fans, and at different functions and so forth. So now we're now being ushered into a more digital age, and a more digital way of presenting our music and our brand. So I'm in the process of recalibrating and trying to see how best I can move forward with this new found way of life.
You know what? One thing I can say for artists, you are naturally creative. So I
Yes.
am I am expecting great creative things to come out of you and everyone else. I know it's hard because it's the income as well, it's your livelihood and the loss of that income as well. Then it's the loss of, when I think about it, it's so much of your soul and your creativity that you do.
Yeah.
Um, so how is technologically, are you able to do other things that you didn't think you would do before?
Well, to answer your question, yes. During this pandemic, I actually taught myself how to film and edit my own music videos. So,
Okay, okay.
yeah,
We have to talk
yeah,
about that side, but after. Yes.
yeah, yeah. So let's say the last uh, 7 videos, I was since March last year.
Yeah.
All of the videos that I put out, except like two, I've done by myself. Recorded, edited,
What?
yeah, edited, you name it, mixed, a few mastered. So I've learned to become a little more self-sufficient,
Yeah.
and within that sphere, it's like you get a little more confidence and a little more
Yeah.
creative in the way you go about your craft. So for me, it has been a welcoming journey, learning to
I
do
know
that.
that. That's good.
And
I, I, I
it's
love
art
that.
at the end of the day. It's art. So it all goes hand in hand.
Because I looked at some of the videos you put out, and I didn't realize you edited yourself because they're excellent. Like the creativity, and I was like, I mean, you've always been creative, but you've taken it to a whole new level, my friend. So Victory Speaks will be talking to you after the show because we need to produce some videos after this.
Ah,
I'm just saying,
no
yeah,
problem, no
your cousin
problem.
will be calling on you because I'm learning new skills as well. Even in this
Awesome.
pandemic, this part is new for me producing my own stuff. Whereas you had people who could produce before with
Mm.
you, And so you've definitely learned some new skills. Did you have any favorite? Now, I know we went through a pandemic. We're still in the midst of a pandemic. But when you look back on 2020, would you say you have a favorite memory that you were able to bloom out of 2020?
Favorite memory that I would have bloomed. I mean, for me, it's a holistic feeling whereby I feel like within 2020 I've matured, in terms of the way I go about my craft, the mindset I will, you know, uh, approach the way I do my things, my music, you know, just life on a whole. So for me personally, it's just a matter of maturity. To say an exact moment, not really. Everything just came together like a sort of avalanche.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah,
found out new things about yourself. It's like, yeah, I didn't know I could do that. So for me, it's just a matter of self introspection and just get into that best version of yourself.
yeah, yeah.
It's still a journey,
Hmm.
still a journey. So for me, it's a collective feeling.
I like that. And I like the fact that you're able to find the opportunity in the crisis because, not everybody was able to find that because it's been such a challenging year for memory. If there was one word you could describe 2020, what would it be?
Ah.
I know a challenging year
In a,
tonight.
it's all good. It's all good. In retrospect, I'll say liberating.
Ah, I like that.
I will say liberating because it allowed me to look within myself. The calm within the storm.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I was able to slow down and really look at things in perspective. So it
yeah,
was
yeah.
liberating for me.
You know what? I might have to steal that word too because I think, yeah, I'm gonna have to borrow. I won't steal it. I will borrow it and
Living
come
for us all.
alongside you and use it because you know what? It was liberating for so many people. So many different things came out of 2020. So I really like that word liberating. And I just want to welcome everybody who's here on the show. I see your
That's
mom is
what
locked in, Auntie Anne Marie. Great to see you there, and Hyacinth and
my mom.
Joan. Welcome, welcome. And I see Rob Davis on one side there. So for everybody who's on the line, be sure to share it. We want everybody to know about this phenomenal young man, even though he's my cousin. He's my cousin in
Thanks.
one sense, but as an artist, I'm not even going to say but because that cancels everything out. However, as an artist, he has always inspired me and what he's done and his creativity and his love of music. And so, as I think about that, since 8 years old, you developed this love of the violin. How does an 8 year old, the violin of all things, how did you come upon the violin, Andre?
Well,
I've never asked you that in all
the
my life.
age bracket would have been five. Huh?
What?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. For some reason, I have a very vivid memory. Like I can remember when I was in the crib. It's crazy. Um, but at age five, I don't know. I always tell people 'cause I get asked that question a lot, and I don't have the burning bushes moment, but it's just I don't know. I think it's just a matter of divine intervention. God just
Yeah.
decided, okay, we'll bestow this talent upon you. Because that notion just,
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know, subconsciously somehow that I don't know if my mom used to listen to violinists when she was pregnant or while growing up. It's a subconscious phenomenon
Right.
whereby I was just gravitated towards that instrument. I would have dabbled in playing the pan, singing calypso, but those things never really resonated with my
Hmm.
spirit. These when I got my violin at 8, because from 5 to 8, I was adamant
Wow.
about it. So that's when she realized I was serious, because she thought it was a phase I was going through. Also taking into consideration where I would have grown up. It was uncommon.
Right.
It was uncommon for someone like myself to pick up that instrument. And I remember picking up that instrument at 8, starting to play, and I remember my first violin class. I still remember how that first violin smelled, and I don't know, it was just exhilarating for me from day one. I remember I was really excited to go to classes. I was all about it. I was all about it from young, and I never stopped.
Wow, that is amazing to me. So what you have, you say you have a style of playing. What is your style of playing? There's this uniqueness, and you have these really, um, when I looked at a violin back in the day, it was this strange looking instrument, but you have these unique violins. I should have asked you to bring your violin to show people, but we will show them a video later because your violins are okay. It's
Actually,
right.
you're
You're
lucky. It's
still-
right here.
oh my
This is
gosh. Okay.
The Yamaha electric violin.
My God, that thing
Yeah,
pretty.
yeah. I actually flew to North Carolina to buy this. I
Wow.
found a store online called Electric Violin Shop, and they had a wide array of violins, electric violins, and I mean, I'm in Trinidad, they're miles away. I couldn't really. I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
you can pull up on YouTube and get examples of how the violin sounds and get reviews, but I personally wanted to be in the ether, the essence of it all. I wanted to go in
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
shop
Yeah.
and play all the
Yeah.
violins.
Yeah.
And I just booked a ticket and I flew to North Carolina specifically for that. I remember touching down, heading straight to the music store, and I spent the entire day there just playing all the violins. And that one, the Yamaha Electric, was the closest feel and song to the actual acoustic. So that's why I chose that that uh, that brand, that version.
I feel like we need to call Yamaha.
Ah, you know,
I feel like Yamaha need to be a sponsor
yeah, could be the
because the
Caribbean
fact that
Yamaha
you
ambassador.
flew, yeah, yeah, yeah. No. We calling things into
But
existence now. If
yeah,
anybody live
of
and on the
course.
replay have any contacts with Yamaha, we're looking for them right now because I think this
Mm,
is a powerful story that Yamaha needs to know that you flew from Trinidad and Tobago all the way to North Carolina to buy that particular violin.
that
And so,
yeah,
so the style of playing. What is your style of playing?
I will say classical contemporary with a Caribbean twist
Ha.
because I was classically trained, but I always loved playing contemporary music and music other than classical. It could be any genre. I just like to experiment, and me being Trinidadian from the Caribbean, it's embedded in my DNA.
Yeah, yeah.
I experimented with the Caribbean style, specifically soca. So if I were to summarize my music right now, I'll say more Caribbean world music because I'm creating my niche sound
Yeah.
whereby it can be relatable to the Caribbean diaspora as well as the wider world at large. But those who are not familiar with the Caribbean culture could still hear that essence of it,
Yeah.
of that style when I play. So it's like, hey, I could hear the classical in him, but I can also hear an influence of folk. So
Hmm.
that's
Hmm.
why I try to create my lane. Because I
You know,
mean, there are millions of classical violinists out there. I mean, I could go up in the US and I'll meet millions, so thousands of persons who could run a whole scale double time and play, you know, uh, Paganini's and so forth. So
who's your
for
favorite?
me,
Who's your favorite player? Do you have a favorite violinist that you love or
growing
that you
up,
model after?
I modeled Joshua Bell. He's an American violinist. He did a lot of solo violins for like certain movies and so forth.
Right.
And as I got older, there's this Asian violinist by the name of Sarah Chan. I really resonate with her because her style, her style is, it reminds me of myself and how
Right.
I express myself through music. Like I actually feel it when she plays. Like, because music is a spirit, music is an energy
Mm-hmm.
that
Mm-hmm.
that that transcends. So for her, so for me, that she's my favorite at present, Sarah Chan. I mean, she's on the next level. She's like the level that I aspire to be at.
So have you met her yet?
No, I haven't. I
So
haven't.
do you want to meet her?
Of course, of
So we need
course.
to
I
make that
mean,
happen. Okay, right.
get some master classes, you know.
We calling out some things tonight. We calling
Yeah,
out some
you
things tonight
claim my
because
too much time.
yeah, we're calling out some things tonight. Welcome everybody to the show. Those of you who are now tuning in, Hyacinth on point with your description of your one of a kind genre. Sarah Oyanga, all the way from Ottawa, Caribbean world music, great category. Gloria Small, yeah, Gloria knows Anselm Walters. Gloria knows everybody.
Hi, Gloria. Thanks for tuning in.
And Joan Pierre loved the meaning of the music with his own culture to be unique in the world. Joan Pierre, I'm feeling a collaboration with Calabash. The steel pan, the Darren Shepherd, and the Tony Pierre, and the percussions, and I'm producing a show right now. I feel like I'm producing a show right now.
Yeah,
Um,
we talk to the universe.
Listen, anything happening right now. Let's see how smart I can be tonight, and see if we can do a screen share here. And hold on, hold on. I learned some things. You say, Andre, you think you had to learn? Boy, I had to learn too. Let's go.
Where there's a will, there's a way, right?
Right, we go in with this one. For my people out there, I know you love this song. Joan Pierre, yes, I know this is your tune, girl. Now, I can't play y'all the whole tune. No, y'all have to go back now. I want y'all to go now to
Subscribe to YouTube.
not right this minute, but you're gonna go to Andre's YouTube page after this, Donna Donny Music, and check out the music. Now you could also go to his Facebook page, his Instagram page. You're like that. A tease you're nice there. A tease you that was what you call a teaser. That's what you call a real teaser. His Facebook page is André J Donawa, just like how it is written. Now don't leave out the J because you will get the photographer. That's not who you want. You want the violinist tonight, okay? So we have some comments. We're going back into the interview. Now we will play a little more music after. Don't worry, people. We'll play a little more music after they start to dance. Oh Lord, I derail the whole interview just by playing a little music. So,
That's
Andrea,
all
what made you want to do this professionally?
It's something that music has always resonated within my being from ever since I know myself. I've always seen myself performing for the
Mhm.
masses. I've always seen myself creating. I've always seen myself being that catalyst of emotion.
Mhm.
And because of such, I couldn't see it any other way. I mean, I grew up normal. I used to play football, basketball, tennis. I did my sciences, I did my business. At one point in time, I was thinking about being a vet and a journalist.
Really?
Yeah, journalist because I like to write, I like to play with words, and vet because of course I would have loved animals, but
Mhm.
with the vet aspect, I quickly realized I couldn't stand blood. You know, I'm not the gory type.
Yeah.
Um, so because of that, yeah, I quickly shelved that notion. Journalist, when I really looked fast forward to the future, I was like, that I may get disenchanted with that. I am, I'm
Is it,
pretty sure I would have.
you know what you do and how you write. I don't see you can still do your blogging and see, there's so many ways that one can be a journalist in what you
True,
do.
true.
And when I think about, the artists that you mention, and you have this goal of dealing and bringing young people into the music, that's
Mm.
definitely that writing piece and that historical piece. And we need the book, so you still have to write your book.
Of
You
course,
know,
of course,
you
of
know.
course,
I
of
see
course.
the children's book first. I'm calling it out today. I don't know what it is happening here today, but I'm calling it out today. We're
Yeah,
doing the children's book with you
mm,
playing the violin and encouraging the young people to to get into it. Do
yeah,
you find that young people are into the violin in the Caribbean, or is it
yeah.
more?
Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's pretty popular now. It has evolved. That whole how should I say it? That whole awareness of the instrument.
Right.
It has evolved. I remember when I was younger, I used to get heckled. There are times I didn't want to go to school with my violin because
Wow.
I'd be called names. You know, um, Especially during music festival.
Right.
That carry my violin to school, straight from school, straight to Port Spain to practice with the piano and stuff, and that was going on for like a whole month prior to the music festival. You know, but thankfully, because a path was created, the youth now are really enthusiastic about it. It's almost like a fad now. And we have a lot of successful violinists coming out of the Caribbean.
Right.
Yeah, so it's becoming a strong movement. So I'm not worried about the future of the instrument in the Caribbean.
That's really interesting, and what I love that you have done as well, that you have gone into our music. You've used steel panists. You've gone into the calypso. You've just really, and when I think about, when you had the group, you were the founder of Alternative Quartet. What was the purpose of that? Because they were tell us about Alternative Quartet. Why did you start a group like that with not just you as a violinist? You didn't just focus on yourself as a solo artist.
Okay, so I'm going from inception, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So when I was younger, meaning from the time I started playing the instrument, I always saw myself as a soloist.
Right.
I always saw myself as that person who will so travel, uh, perform within that vibe.
Hmm.
And when I was in university, a friend of mine who used to sing soca and so forth, he used to sing with KMC at the time, and he had to sing at a club one night, and he invited me
Yeah.
reluctantly. And there's the whole thing that I did not want to go, because I'm not the guy. I'll go parties and so forth, but for me to go out like that, it has to make sense to me. Because I almost feel like I'm wasting time. I could be home doing something else more productive. I'm not a old soul like that, but it could be sometime. And I remember that night I really didn't want to go, and he persuaded me, and I went. And when we had gone to the club, we went in the lounge area with the artists on there, and Marshall Montano was there, and he told me, he's like, hey, shout out to Keegan Taylor, by the way. He's the guy that I'm speaking of.
Okay, Keegan, we can hear your props today. All right.
No, Keegan Taylor, he's from Trinidad. He's from
Oh, and
Trinidad.
that's what I said. We're giving him his props today. We're giving him his props. We're giving him his
Oh
props.
yeah, yeah,
Yes.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So Marshall was there, and he's like, hey Andre, I'm gonna introduce you to Marshall. Now people who know me know those things already ruffle my feathers. So I was like, really? You know, I don't really care too. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm a big fan of
Yeah.
Machel, but you know, me being part of that artist fair, I know it could be when random people just coming up to you and so
Come on.
forth.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
You know, um, sometimes artists may be in the mood, sometimes they won't be in the mood. That's just
Hmm.
humanity. Um, well, being human. Um, so I eventually was like, okay, okay, all right, all right. You know, so he introduced me to Machel, like, yo, Machel, this is my boy Andre. He could play the violin real good. And then Machel just stopped. He watched me like, you used to play the violin? I said, well, yeah. He said, just send you, boy, just send you, because I looking for a violinist. Now, mind you, this is the Wednesday. Machel's concert back then would have been called Alternative Concept. That was before Machel Monday.
Right.
It would have been called Alternative Concept. All right? This was the second one he would have had. Um, so met him the Wednesday. He's like, yeah, just send you. And he told me he's looking for a violinist for his concert this Saturday coming.
Wow.
No, this Wednesday. Yeah.
Divine intervention, brethren.
Yeah. So he's like, okay, tomorrow, come by my place and audition. So I was like, cool, no problem. You know, because in all honesty, I was somewhat prepared for it because I remember when I was younger, like after orchestra rehearsals and so forth, I would come home and just practice for hours, listening to radio and trying to play every single song on the radio by ear. You know,
Wow.
I was used to keep my eye on the concert mistress because she was the one to beat. You know, I grew up competitive within the music, you know, fraternity because of music festival and so forth. And
Yeah,
I
yeah,
remember
yeah.
they just train and some trained me to just be competitive when it comes to that, you know. So you know, I used to go and practice and try to play every single song I could play or by ear on the radio. So I got accustomed to my oral training really was above average. So when I crossed to his place the following days, he sent driver everything. But I remember this was funny because I didn't want to seem unprofessional and so forth. So a friend of mine who was at university with me, I asked him to be my manager. You know, for that. You know,
Yeah,
he
yeah,
was a well spoken. He was mature for his age.
yeah, yeah.
You know, and so I was like, hey, you know, I just needed to just pretend to be my manager so I look professional. You know, it's like cool. You know, see, dress up with the suit and so forth and be my. So he went across to Machel's place, and he just put on a CD and he just tell me play, and he just started playing his songs, all his songs, and I basically played back everything that he played for me, like, and that went on for like half an
Oh,
hour straight, cause he trying to see well break,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
but you know I was ready for that moment, you know, yeah. In retrospect, so yeah, so after that moment, he was like, all right, cool, and the concert Saturday. Now, mind you, I honestly didn't think all that was gonna go down. You know, I just came with an open mind. You know, I was just like, hey, I get an opportunity to, you know, to have a personal vibe with Machel. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. And he basically said, okay. He gave me the CD. He said, I want you to learn every song on this CD. Um. So all right. So fast forward to the show this Saturday.
Right.
Um. I think there's a picture on my Instagram with that moment, you know. I always get like emotional when I speak about it. It's like I was backstage. Marshall Walker had done a song with or without you, a remake,
Mhm.
right? Backstage in my big suit, I always laugh at that suit because like I'll never wear a suit like that now, but you know, it evolved. Um, And he just brought me out, me and my acoustic instrument, put a mic on it. And I remember walking out on stage with like 30,000 people.
Was that
Like,
your biggest crowd? Was that the
that was
biggest
my
crowd?
biggest crowd at the time.
Wow.
And I was like, wow, this is grand. And after the few seconds of the nostalgia, I caught myself and I started doing my thing. And the crowd just went they were hysterical, I was really accepted on that level.
Yeah. Yeah, because I mean, who would expect to see a violinist
Yeah.
in a concert like that? Yeah.
I think in the history of the violin and meshing with soca, that was the first moment ever that violin and soca came together on that level.
No, you need to highlight that, Andre. That is some serious. That is
Yeah.
serious. The first
So
moment soca and violin came together. Come on now.
yeah. I think officially,
Yeah. Yeah.
and it was such a success that right now again to your question, but I have to give you
We hear you. Everybody
background.
listen. Everybody on the edge of the seat listening.
So now all this time, mind you, a quartet was never part of my thought process. I play the orchestra and so forth, but as I said, I always saw myself as a soloist. So I remember right after that concert, like I talking about the show finished, Machel came up to me backstage and he's like, all right, next year, I want a quartet. Now, this is immediately after the show. I was like, quartet. So I started taxing my brain right there, like, wow, like, who agree to do this with me, boy? So I was like, okay, no, I'm a guy I like challenges. I like challenges. So I was like, okay, no problem. I was a little nervous about it, but I didn't show it. I was like, yeah, no problem, I'll get it done. And I immediately, like the day right after, I immediately started calling musicians like, hey, you want to be part of this group? Most likely we're gonna be playing at Machel AC3. That would have been the following year. Some turned it down, and the others were like that. Who were the initial quartet members? Agreed, right? Now, I like to create music. I like to write music and so forth. I like to be proactive when it comes to stuff like that. So, at that time when everyone agreed, I was like, okay, no problem. Good, thank you. I started writing scores of music for 4 parts for a quartet. So I wrote about 3 scores for some of Machel's songs, and we started rehearsing one time. And I remember calling Machel and I told him, I said, hey, well, this is what I came up with so far. And he was like, I like you already because,
You're thinking ahead.
Yeah, I'm ready to go. And a few months prior to the show, he came to a rehearsal that we were doing for the show. And I remember jokingly, speaking to them jokingly, and I was like, well, man, I don't know what this epiphany came, this thought came to my mind. I was like, hey, Machel, now, seeing that the show name is Alternative Concept, why we don't name ourselves Alternative Quartet?
Wow.
Because this is this ground zero. This,
Yeah.
Now, this is me just finding a name for us for that concert. All right. He said, all right, it sounds okay. He laughed it off, and that was the end of that conversation. I mean, I've already brought it back up. And then I remember
Mm.
on the night of the show, when we came on stage, Machel, he said, introducing alternative quartet.
He had it in
And
his, he kept it.
yeah,
Kept it in
and
his brain. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, and that was there, stamped, proved, no turning back. Like, even after that show, I really didn't think that, we would have gone on to be what we were
Right, right.
and what we created for the whole fraternity. But right after that show, my phone just kept ringing off the hook, like interviews by performances, like wanted us.
To
No
stop.
one wanted. No one wanted it any other way.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
even
yeah.
if we wanted to stop after that, even if we intended for it to be a one-off, people wasn't having it.
It just took on a life of its own.
Yeah, and that just took off like wildfire, and yeah, and that went on for over a decade, 13 years to be exact.
Wow, wow.
Yeah.
So now you're back to being so wait a second. How did you even get to perform for the Queen of England? Like you talk about Marshall, but you're reaching the Queen of England. You're going all over,
Mm.
right?
Okay.
And and I'm gonna give you your props now. People saying, "Oh, your cousin saying hi, cuz." Gloria saying,
Absolutely.
"Congrats."
Thanks,
History
Gloria.
making. Sarah said you could be a music reviewer. You see, people, everybody have it. We keeping you in mind here. And soon we're going back to another musical interlude. I'll give you a little something just now. But how did you end up playing for the Queen of England? I
Okay.
read that right?
Yeah, 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 yeah. All right. So, Mr. Brian McFarlane, he is a celebrated, uh, cultural ambassador in Trinidad. He
Right.
would have won a few band of the years. He's the equivalent of Peter Minshall.
Yes, yes.
All right, they go hand in hand as far as I'm concerned. So he was tasked with putting together Chogam. I don't know if you remember back in 2009, where we had the Summit of the Americas.
Mm-hmm.
Chogam is acronym COHGM. Um, all right, the Summit of the Americas, which was hosted in Trinidad at that time. All right, and that was when Obama just became president. Like back in that's a big deal.
We were all over we were
Yeah,
just the
yeah, yeah.
happiest
We
people in
were,
the world.
yeah, we all in our feelings. And he was hired to coordinate that entire program, and he hired us to perform at the private dinner of the leaders. All right, so that it was it was a small room in Hyatt, with all the heads of state. Just one
Wow.
round table with all the waitresses and so forth, waiters and waitresses, and the quartet. And after that, we had to line up outside, and everyone would have come outside, and she greeted everyone, and she came up to me, and she looked at my instrument, and she made this joke. She's like, "Where's the rest of it?" I just laughed. So that was my moment there. So yes, I did.
Even at a young age, you have a lot to put in a book, Andre. Even at a
Mm,
young age, like you
no,
met the queen, she didn't even. Did you have to curtsy? Did they teach you how to
yes.
curtsy? Yes,
Well,
yes,
not
yes.
good, but you have to.
You have to bow. The men have
Yeah,
to bow. The women have
those
to curtsy.
those yeah
Yes,
those protocols. Yeah.
yes. You have to do your deep bowing and stuff like that. Who
Yeah.
have you enjoyed playing with the most? Now that might be a tough question, but Who are some of the people that you've enjoyed playing with the most?
Enjoyed. I'll say the quartet was one. I enjoyed playing with Machel band because
Yeah,
that year when I did the solo performance with him, I did a couple more performances
right.
in Carnival during that Carnival season with them. So I was part of the ecstatic. Back then, it was the
Ecstatic.
ecstatic marching band. Yeah, I think there's a
We
picture
ate,
on
we
my
aging
Instagram
ourselves for you, boy.
with in the whole in
The
the whole
outfit.
the outfit in the red. Oh my god. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I was, a few, Marshall,
Yeah.
Quartet. Recently, I've started doing a couple performances with Dane Gulston.
Hey, you know how long I
Oh,
hear from Dane?
yeah.
Oh my God.
And
Now, for those of you
Dane,
who don't know who Dane Galston is, Dane Galston is a supreme panist.
Supreme. Yeah,
Supreme
yeah,
panist.
yeah, yeah,
Is he
yeah.
back in Trinidad?
Yeah, yeah, he is.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, because he had done Manhattan and so forth with Marshall and
Right.
they, you know, um, so as of recently, that was really a learning experience for me in terms of showmanship. So I was really
Mm-hmm.
grateful for that. Heather Headley,
Mm-hmm.
that was a really good experience also because I got my first taste of first world professionalism. The way they approached the whole production was
Mm-hmm.
like humbling, very humbling.
Have you
St
ever been
Lucia Jazz.
starstruck? Have you ever been starstruck? Has anybody just, because, even when you're an artist, there's always that one person
Yeah,
or two
yeah,
people
yeah.
that, that being like, yeah,
Starstruck.
or
Wow,
just,
that's funny. This, I mean, this not even music. This was this actress Megan Good is her name.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, she had come to Trinidad. She came to Trinidad, and I had this big crush on Megan Good for some reason. I remember meeting her and words couldn't come out my mouth. Took a selfie only to realize the picture didn't come out.
Oh,
you
no.
know. But yeah. But in terms of being starstruck like that, I haven't really been.
Mhm.
I don't know. I tend to identify persons as just humans.
Yep,
At the end
yep,
of the
yep,
day, we all
yep,
humans. And this is
yep.
me drawing introspection from myself because people may come at me and maybe starstruck
Mhm.
and in my mind I'm like, you know, um, I'm flattered, but I normal.
I hear
You could
you're
talk to
normal,
me.
normal. Yeah.
Yeah, talk to me as you talk to all your friends. So that's how
I
I
still want your
approach.
autograph. I still want your
You could get
autograph.
that. You could get that. So I tend to approach um other artists and so forth with the same mindset. I mean, who knows? It might just happen one of these days. You know?
But that is good because that humility, as you continue to grow and build, and we'll have to. I won't be able to call you on WhatsApp. I don't have to go through the management company to
Nah,
see.
so that man.
I'll be like, listen here, listen here. But now you're writing music, you're arranging, you're a producer, and now you're a music professor as well.
Yeah, yeah. I'm in the process of getting my my young ones together. I have this vision of having this grand, world worthy young violinist. You know,
Mm,
yeah. I want the future generation to be able to spar with the best of them and
I
get
love that.
opportunities that I personally would not have gotten because I would say that I was relatively talented with the instrument, but because of constraints, maybe financially or just opportunity,
Mhm.
I would not have been able to um, explore the horizons at an earlier age,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and I would like where the younger ones coming up now could get that opportunity because I'll tell you something. There are a lot of talented young, well, at least the ones I teach,
Right.
a lot of young, talented violinists. Talking about 8 year olds, 9, 10 year olds, who I see if they really take the instrument serious, they could easily, you know, pursue a career
This is
abroad.
really this is big for me because I would have never thought that would have been an instrument, especially young, especially even now. I mean, back in the day was one thing, but even now, with all the different things that young people get into, that is so refreshing to hear that young people, want to get into the violin. And I'm hoping that anybody live and on the replay, anybody have ideas and funding and ways that we can, because I know from a little birdie told me that you want to start doing like a scholarship and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Yeah, like
Um,
scholarship program. But may it be NGO, may it be government bursaries or however it happens. But I really want to be a catalyst whereby the younger generation could get that opportunity because I got accepted to go Berkeley, but I couldn't go
right, right.
because at that time, you know, of course, I could not have afforded it at that time, and also at that time, no one really took the violin serious in Trinidad.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
at that time it was a time where it was more underground instrument, so
So,
no one saw the bigger picture.
and I can see that, and as I say, you're never too old to dream, and would you say that because you couldn't go to Berkeley, and certain things you had to change how you were got your expertise as a
Mhm,
violinist?
mhm.
How did that shape you as a man and as a music as an artist?
It made me become more resilient.
Hmm.
Yeah, it did because now I had to dig deep and find it within myself to create that opportunity for myself.
Yeah.
Where I would have gotten the fast way out, I had to literally be the one clearing the bushes.
Yeah.
And in retrospect, when I look back at it, I think it had to happen that way.
Yeah. Yeah. Because
You
you're a
know,
forerunner now. You're literally a forerunner in Trinidad and Tobago.
yeah.
You're a leader in this field, and I'm seeing lots of comments coming in on here, and I'm going to share some of them with you. You're going to go back a little bit to come
Hmm.
forward a little more. Sarah saying, I just sneaked a listen to the quartet cover of Soca Kingdom. Nice. So Sarah, you came out of the interview to go listen to the music. You see what happening here? Leslie says we still need to collaborate now. Here, collaboration. I see an African dance, song, and violin combo. Have you done an African combo yet? Outside of
Combo.
Jerusalem? Huh?
No, I
Okay.
actually would
Okay.
love to elaborate on that
Okay.
idea.
So
You know,
your cousin is a traditional West African trained
of course,
dancer.
Leslie. Yeah,
Okay. All right.
I'm aware. I'm
We,
aware.
even if
Fully
we have to
aware.
do it virtually, even if we have to start virtually, the collaborations are happening. Joan is like, for your performances, have you had a designer create your look? We have some great ones at home, but you're always decked out.
To answer the question directly, yes, I have collaborated with Eclipse Eli. The suit I wore for my cover of Savannah Grass, the yellow suit, I was tailored by Eclipse Eli. I've been sponsored by Long Weekend, to name a few. But and there's so much facets of me that people don't know.
Let
So
us
in
hear
my
them.
20s,
Yes.
I had a stint in modeling. Once again, it was by chance. You see, and it always involves a club. Anyway, no, don't get me wrong. But anyway,
Yes, 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 yes.
so I'd gone up, just touching on that quick, just for you to understand my sense of fashion. So I'd gone a club with a friend of mine, and another friend of mine saw me. He came up to me, he's like, "Hey, Andrew, my friend like your look." I was like, "She like my look." All that time I oblivious to even
Yeah,
my
think
sense of
fashion.
fashion,
Yeah, yeah,
you know.
yeah.
And she wanted to meet me. She met me. She said, "Hey, I like your look. I want to meet with you because I have a model agency, blah blah blah." And I still like skeptical, like, "Rrr," you know. I said, "Cool, cool." Kept an open mind. Met her the following day. She said she wanted me to come to her classes. I went to her classes. Then she came and said, "Okay, I'm signing you up. I'm signing you up for a model search, a model competition." I'm like, "Wait, boy, you are all faithing me, but just so you trim me in this new world, this new found world, like am I, you know?" And went into the model competition with professional models, came second, and then after that I got contract to do advertisements with Pepsi, with Coca-Cola, mailing, and within those, like, let's say 3 years,
Yeah.
I developed my personal sense of fashion. It helped me to be fashionably aware,
Hey.
and yeah, I just kept that aspect of myself going forward. So that's
Joan
how.
said,
Um, sorry.
go ahead, go ahead.
Yeah. So that's how I developed my sense of style. Because at that time I'd have been doing a lot of research with different wear, and just finding my own
Yeah, yeah.
style.
Joan is saying, I would love to see you wearing something from the cloth.
Cloth.
Okay, we're gonna have to connect you to Richard and the cloth design. So
I would love.
Joan was this,
Mm,
you know the cloth.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That would be nice. The cloth would be. I could see you rocking something from the cloth. And let me give you your flowers. Yes. Somebody was asking if whose son are you in the Donawa clan? This is Anne Marie Donawa's son.
And Marie,
Um,
the
one of the
last year.
youngest, one of the youngest of the 14 of the tribe.
Yes.
Um,
The 13th.
so we come from a large family. Our grandmother had 14 children.
Yeah.
So um, let's see what else is here. And I'm going to play another song coming up. Nurture. Oh, yes. Great sharing your passion with the youth, says Joan. Nurturing the next generation, building his legacy. Amazing. I love when Indian songs are played. Yes, he has that too.
Yeah, yeah, I have
And
that. Yeah.
Leslie's everything happens for a reason. Now, now with this comment here, you're beating me to it. So we're gonna play this song for you. This is a comment. He would work well with South African artists. Joan, you need to take him on your next trip to South Africa. So Joan has done a trip to South Africa. We have an amazing South African friend who is a travel agent, Rami, and very well connected. And well, I'm going to play this song, and then I heard there was you had an encounter with the person with this song. Am I correct with Jerusalem? Did they hear you playing the
Yes,
violin? Okay,
yes,
okay. Let's
yes.
let's let's give the people a little share. Let's give them a little share. We'll share the screen one more time, and we take in some music. Okay, let's get the right one. Hold on here. Let's get it at the beginning for you guys. Well, no, I played Jerusalem before. So tell them about
Yeah.
Jerusalem, and then I'm going to go to Farmer Nappy.
All right. So that video is one of the videos that I edited myself.
The Jerusalem one.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I recorded, edited, so forth. Um, Jerusalem. That song resonated with me on a visceral level. It almost felt like my ancestors were speaking to me.
Yeah, yeah.
And I never did an African song before. I didn't even know it was that hyped, to be honest. I didn't know.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't know. The song just spoke to me,
Yeah,
and after I did my research, I was like, wow, okay. But even if it was big or not, I would have still done it.
yeah.
and everything just happened naturally within that whole creative process of
Yeah.
making that piece. I put it out there and it got rave reviews. I got a lot of people from South Africa hitting me up. The original singer of the song,
Yes.
she commented under the post something along the lines of God has spoken or something like that.
Wow.
And it was, her words was almost synonymous to how I felt creating that, because it felt like, God spoke through that piece of music, and it felt like a prayer.
Mm.
Felt like a prayer. And that's when I went to research the words and so forth. And I was like, you see, I was
Mm-hmm.
right. It's a
Mm-hmm.
prayer.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And so I approached it as such. And yeah, I guess the music resonated.
I love it. As Sarah says, so he hasn't met her yet. So Sarah was asking if you had met her.
No, I
Um,
have met her, but we actually had a brief exchange on DM,
oh, nice.
Yeah, a few times. A few times, she reposted on her stories my work like twice.
That's
Well,
good.
she commented under the post. I was a bit adventurous, and I messaged her and I said, "Hey, we should do a collab."
You should. You should.
And she replied. She's like, you know, sounds good, but some of them may try to be,
But listen, you keep trying
passionate.
because sometimes it's just about timing. Sometimes it's just you should know as an artist. Sometimes it's just about
Yeah,
time.
of course, of course.
Yeah.
It's
So
like,
I looking forward. I looking forward to the collab. I looking forward to the collab. That's for sure. That's for
God's
sure.
willing,
So,
God's willing, God's willing.
yeah, man. I think he's willing, man. I think he's willing. So we're gonna drop another song there for the people and them. Let's see. Wait. Let me do it. Let me do it right. I'm not doing it right. See this? I'm telling you. This. Hold on. We're gonna get the next one up, and this one should make some people real happy. The backyard lime coming, people. We're going to have the backyard lime right after we get the vaccinations and things. The backyard lime coming. We having the bottle and spoon. I have a bottle, but I have a cup. We're getting ready for spring and summer. Everybody have their bottle and spoon ready. Lovely, 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 lovely. I know the people, I seeing people Hand going up, where the hearts, where the thumbs up and thing. We are
With the
seeing
rats,
that
with the
man.
rats, with the flags.
Where the flags and thing. We in the backyard. I seen the dancing and thing going on. Love this, love this. Listen, we're gonna have, we want the technology. So Andre, you're gonna have to come on. Hold on. The next song I want to play is not your song.
The
I'm telling
backyard
you.
remix. That the remix.
The backyard remix. Want to come up next. We're not ready for that one yet. Andre, this is so good. So who or what anchors you?
Who or what anchors me? I will have to say God.
Yes, yes.
hmm Because yeah, I've been through a lot.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, also, what keeps me going is at the end of the day, I want to be like a martyr
Mm,
for the young violinists coming up, especially the ones who have the odds against them. Because if it wasn't for the violin in my life, things could have been
a lot
way,
different. Way, way different.
yeah, way
Way, way
different.
different. Way, way
So
different.
yeah. So I know what it has done for me. So in terms of that notion of being anchored, God, and the fact that I want to inspire the younger generation,
Hmm.
you know, so they could see what I do and just want to become someone in life, not be afraid to go after your dreams and what you really wanna be in life.
And I love that, Andre. And to a young person who wants to pursue an instrument and this life of being a violinist, and I think no matter what era you're in, it could still be an era where you're bullied. What could you say to that young person right now to encourage them? And you're dealing with young people right now, so what are the challenges you're faces, and what could you tell them to inspire them to continue on the road?
I only speak from experience, all right? So for myself, when that was happening to me, I thought to myself, number one, you don't know me, you know, you don't know you don't know my inner passion, all right? I believe in myself and I know that I will become someone, especially with the instrument that I chose to play. So for me, when I was being bullied and stuff, I mean, there are times you'd have felt down, but I just used to look at the bigger picture. Like I always used to picture myself where I am now. I would have been like, okay, uh, I know where I want to go in life with what I'm doing. And at the end of the day, you don't live my life. So I'm just gonna continue to be myself and pursue my passion despite whatever someone says. Because at the end of the day, no one should be able to define you,
Right.
right? And if you really believe in something, just 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 go for it. Just go for it. So my comfort was thinking about my future self, and that kind of put a smoke screen over all of that.
Right. Right.
Because it's like they would be like, "Oh, yeah, yeah, see," and in my mind, I'd be
Yeah.
like, "But I know I'm not."
Yeah. Yeah.
Not saying that it's bad to,
Yeah.
in terms of the orientation, it's all good. But I knew myself like,
You had a vision.
yeah,
You had a vision.
yeah. So so for me, it was a matter of whatever they told me. I knew to myself that wasn't me, and I knew to myself where I wanted to go with the instrument. So
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
of all that, and how I believed in my journey, you know, I I kind of dimmed out that noise, I
Yeah.
quieted
Yeah.
that noise. So I hope that helps in terms
Yeah.
of the advice.
I mean, total.
Now
I
I
mean,
can only
totally.
speak my truth,
Yeah.
and
And your truth is the most, we have to stand in the truth of who we are.
yeah,
And I like when you said, earlier on, and if those who are live on the replay, this is one thing I remember Andrea saying early on, that he would come home and he would practice and he would
yeah,
practice and he got that competitive nature, and that he would listen and listen to the songs on the radio, and you would listen by ear and learn. So you were diligent in your craft, and you were so focused, and there had to be something deep inside of you that kept you that focused. What was your mom saying? Like was she like, oh my God, how many times is he going to practice this violin? Did you get any pushback from your mom, or was it just like, because you come from a musical family, your brother
yeah.
is an artist as well? Besides him being a lawyer, he's also
Mhm.
an artist as
Yeah,
well.
Randall, very time, very
Yeah,
very time. Like it can go either way with him.
right,
You know, my mom, she never deterred me.
right.
She never deterred me. She, yeah, she supported me 100%. At first she thought I was. It's like you five, you don't know what you want to do in life. You know. But when she found out that I was adamant about it, she
Yeah.
she fully supported me, like up to this day.
So here's an interesting fact that I didn't know. Hyacinth just put on, Grandpa Percy taught his 8 children to play several stringed instruments. So the sound of the violin was buried in the spirit. Wow, didn't know that. She
Mhm.
says, Andre, everything that you need to succeed was breathed into you in the beginning. Therefore, you are blessed, empowered to prosper and succeed in every area of your life. Love it.
Thank you for those
Kenya,
words.
Kenya, hopefully I'm saying your name right. Divinely guided with passion to accomplish your true purpose. I believe your testimony will inspire many. Great job, Andre.
Thanks
And
for that.
this is what it is, because definitely your story. I always tell people that everybody has a story to tell, and that story will inspire that other person. And you never know what part of your story can
Mhm.
be that catalyst, that fire that lights the ember that is burning inside somebody. And so you told me what anchors you, but who inspires you?
Mhm.
You can name more than one person. I'll give you that.
Uh, who inspires me? I would say my future self.
Whoa! Drop the mic.
Yeah.
Okay, break that down.
What I see myself accomplishing in life, my personal legend that I call it. I have to work towards being that person. I mean, no one is perfect. We all make mistakes in life. You live, you learn. For me, I just want to be, as everyone, happy,
Yeah, yeah.
contented. So my future self inspires me to continue the journey because, as I said, I want to be in a position where I could inspire and help more on an altruistic level. Um. So yeah, to answer your question.
That was the best answer that I've ever had. That was profound. And we're getting like, Joan is like, wow. And Joan is not a young'un. Joan is a mature young'un who's like, wow.
Mm.
So, you're leading me into the next question is, what is your vision for the future? What do you see for you?
Many facets. All right, so I see myself having a music academy.
Mm,
I see myself, you know, being a more professional in the production aspect, whereby I can have a studio where I can a staunch studio for string instrumentalists. Because a lot of the studios here now, more catered for singers,
Right.
you know.
Ah, okay, I
Yeah,
got you.
I have an environment whereby a string instrumentalist could come in and feel like, all right, this is for me. You know, I want to do the book, thinking
The
about the
books,
movie.
the books,
You
the
know,
books.
yeah, it's just a matter of me at the end of the day being in a position where I can influence in a positive way. So I always ask God to just guide me correctly.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
But sometimes you may be lost,
yeah.
and you just need to recenter and just listen.
You have such clarity, and to hear you talk about vision and the way that you see vision and then legacy because you're already seeing it. If you were to say what victory was for you, what does victory look like to you?
Victory for me is more being contented.
Hmm.
Yeah, contented. Full stop.
I love it. I love it. So, 20 years from now,
Hmm.
looking back on your life, what do you think will matter most to you?
What will matter most for me in 20 years? For me, what will matter honestly is knowing that I could have been an inspiration to someone. Yeah, that will matter the most to me in 20 years. I always see myself as this old man who just sitting down in a concert hall and seeing a 20, 25-year-old student that I would have taught from the age of 6 just
Yeah,
excel.
yeah.
Yeah, that for me is contentment in itself.
And
So yeah.
I love that, and I love it on several levels, and I love it because this show is called Inspired Conversations, and you're truly inspiring so many people just by the comments and just by the interaction that people are having, and just by your life, you're an inspiration, and I'm so grateful that you've always inspired me. And sometimes we don't always tell individuals that they inspire us, even our family members that are close, but
Mm,
know that you're an inspiration. Leslie's saying so proud of you. Um,
absolutely.
Nakita is saying, "Great job, Andre. Keep sharing." And it's so true
Good job.
because through your music and through what you do, and as you look back on your life now and going through and you reflect because you're very good at reflecting. Um, what would you say to that one part of your younger self that was most challenged and going through a challenge and was like, I don't want to do this anymore? What would you say to your younger self?
Mistakes are meant to make.
Hmm.
Mistakes are meant to happen in your life. That's a
Yeah.
natural process of being human. So I will tell my younger self, it's okay to make mistakes.
Yes.
All right. The most important thing is to learn from them, and you're never too old or too young to learn.
Right.
Because I always felt, I don't know, for some weird reason, I always felt like, um, all right, so like when I was approaching 20, I'd be like, oh my God, I turned 20, I'm getting old. Then you're approaching 30, it's like, oh my God, I'm getting old. You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then when you look back at it in retrospect, it's like, I was always young.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So I would tell my younger self, as I said, it's okay to make mistakes, and one must always be able to forgive themselves.
Mm, I
Yeah,
love that.
yeah, and understand that life is about phases, and sometimes you'll go through something, and you'll wonder why I would have gone through this, and so forth. But I guess in the bigger scheme of things, stuff like that builds character.
Yeah, yeah. Well, people are agreeing with you. You're already achieving some of your legacy, my friend. What an inspiring artist and person. Thanks for introducing us to your talented kin. You're welcome, Sarah. Listen, he's one of the many hidden secrets in our family. We have a plethora of hidden secrets in our family. Now you're working on you just released a new song, and I'm going to see if I can play it softly in the background if you want to tell people about it. Let's see if I can score another coup here on this screen sharing thing. Um, and Is this a Sweet Tooth Symphony, right?
Yeah.
Right. So let's see if we can get this beautiful thing up here. Sharing. Well, of course, we have to have a little advertisement.
Help my business grow from a journal
This is
to a
this
website.
is what we don't like. All righty here. Okay. There you go. So now you all get a little taste of what Andrew has just released, what he's working on. I'm going to bring it back forward. Tell us a little bit about this piece before we go. Um, you just released it. People can where they can get it, and let's get that key information up in there with this song
All right,
and
so
your
this,
music.
yeah, so this song is an original. The first solo violinist ever in the history of violinists to be on a soca rhythm. The
Hey,
first string instrumentalist would have
hey.
been alternative quartet because we did the Antilles rhythm. But as a soloist, yeah, the first. It's available on Spotify and iTunes, so you can purchase it there, and well, you can stream it off of YouTube at your
Okay.
desire.
Okay. And
Sweet
go ahead.
Sweet Tooth Symphony. So how the inception of that was again by chance. But I don't know. I just in life I've always been guided a kind of way. It's weird. I really think I have a guardian angel. I really do, as we all do. But it's a matter of being conscious.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, mind, body, spirit. So scrolling through Instagram one evening and saw Private Ryan previewed that rhythm with a singer in front of our house. And when I'm listening to music, it has to resonate within me. If it doesn't resonate within me, I'm not gonna do it.
Yeah.
It has to be on that spiritual level. And I heard it and I felt something. So I messaged him and I was like, hey, I just saw you preview a rhythm. I like what I heard. I want to try something, in terms of my own twist to that. Now, mind you, I was the last person on his mind when it comes to that rhythm. He replied, he's like, cool, no problem. Let me hear. Let me see what you have. So I said, all right, no problem. Send me the instrumental. He sent me it. And I basically became engulfed in that the music, something about it gave me this. All right, so while composing my piece, my version, right, I felt that inner Barry White, that inner Marvin Gaye, that Lionel Richie, John B.
Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah, yeah.
I was feeling that, and it almost that rhythm itself felt hybrid to me, like hybrid soca. It had that groove to it where my creativity could have flowed within the piece, and approached the way I recorded and composed it. I tried a different style where I tried to let the music breathe.
Mm.
You know, sometimes less is more.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah. So I approached it from that angle in terms of my style.
Mm-hmm.
So it's almost like a different version of how I will approach my compositions.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that in a nutshell, that's how I approached it. From that visceral level, and I just channeled that the inner chakras. You know,
I love it.
and yeah, and it worked. And the funny thing about it is the name of that rhythm. I'll give you inside information. Um, that the rhythm initially was called the dark chocolate rhythm.
Hey, dark chocolate.
Yeah,
Hey,
that was
hey,
the first name of it.
I love it.
And then when Ryan heard my version, the
Change it.
paradigm changed, and it morphed into the Sweet Tooth Symphony.
Right, right, right.
Yeah,
Well,
and
it, it,
yeah,
it, it, it's sweet because look, Joan Pierre's like it's beautiful, and let me tell you, she's a music connoisseur, and she's married to one. So,
so
when
she
she
know
says,
what I speak of.
I
She
know
knows
it's
what I
sweet.
speak of.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And
Yeah,
um, and then she also says, I admire how grounded you are and sure of yourself. Great inspiration. So, Andre, like you're like I am so glad you made time to come on here and we were able to
not a
connect. And
problem.
I want to make sure that I'm cognizant of your time. But is
No,
there
we
anything
good.
else
We
you
good.
want to, if anything else you want to share with the people about your music, about your passion, about how they can get to know you, be involved, collaborate with you, anything you want to share, and anybody you want to give props to, anybody you want to say thank you to, and give shout outs to. This is your time. This is I am just your your catalyst. I'm just the person just right here. Not the catalyst. I'm the one just your mediator.
Yeah, of course. Of course, I like to thank God, the Creator. Who chose me to be a catalyst of that musical energy. Because everyone is ordained
Yes.
in a different type of way. There are certain things I could do that you can't, vice versa. You know, my mom, she was a big part in supporting me along the way. She never tried to,
Hmm.
you know, steer me away from it. So, I like to thank her and Sam Walters. He had a big part in this because at the time, he would have been like that father figure.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and I always make the joke that he he trained me like uh how should I put it, a competitive MMA fighter.
In the violin,
Yeah,
in the
because
music
he
world.
just had me competing from 11 because I was on 12 and under and so forth.
Wow. With TK.
And yeah, and he really breathed in me that tenacity, like
Yeah.
you could do it, go go. You know, so I like to thank him. When it comes to my professional career, Marshall Montano, what a big deal. Like I saw him sometime recently, a few years ago, and I remember he jokingly told me, he said, I have DNA in that quartet, you know? And it's true. You know, it's true. You know, because honestly, if it wasn't for him, things might have been different.
We might have to get Machel and you together to do a. I have to bring Machel on here with you, and we're gonna have to have a little conversation.
Yeah, that's no problem.
Yeah, yeah. We're gonna have to bring on. We're gonna have to bring on the champion.
So yeah, I mean, along the way, I mean, I can't remember everyone now,
Of course, of course.
but you
You're
know, just
preparing for your speech. You're preparing for your Grammy Award and things. So,
how.
hey,
So you know, there would have been people along the way that would have you know, helped me to realize aspects of myself and how to navigate this journey.
called life. Yes,
Thanks for life. Life in the
called life.
music.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Norma is asking, have you ever worked with Xavier Strings?
Xavier Strings and myself, we were in orchestra together.
Ooh.
So as the group, no, I have never worked with them, but they were part of the foundation string fraternity in Trinidad. This is when we were underground,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Yeah, yeah.
hiding to walk the streets of our valley.
Oh my God.
No, it was that serious. It was that serious. Back then it was that serious. You know?
Wow.
So yes, to answer the question, yes. I have played with them at an orchestral level.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad that you fought the fight of fate and you continue to fight strong and you to continue to do what you do. And I thank you for coming on to the show. It is definitely an honor and a pleasure. And for those of you who are live on the replay, thank you for tuning in. You've been watching the Victory Speak show. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Nicole Waldron, and be sure to tune in to the Victory Speak show on Mondays and Wednesdays at 8 o'clock. The YouTube channel has all the replays of other shows. I'm going to play some of Andre's music in the background as we wind down for the evening. That piece he just well, that's the wrong song for sure. That's not the song. There we go. And you can also visit the Facebook page Victory Speak 77. Now, the podcast is on Apple and Spotify, where you can learn how to live a victorious lifestyle. I share with you the lifestyle hacks of living a victorious lifestyle. If you're on Clubhouse, be sure to follow me on Victory Speaks. And remember, people, love is in the details. Take the time to love on those in your life, check in on them. And in this season, especially, remember to have an inspired conversation with someone. And that conversation can even just start with a smile, a greeting, someone you met along the way. Do some random acts of kindness. And as we wind down this Easter weekend, some of you are back to work already. Some will go back tomorrow. Some of you, some of us are still on hiatus because of the pandemic. Remember to stay focused, get the information on the vaccine, get the information on staying safe, wear your mask because we want everybody to be safe and we want to enjoy the music and continue to love on your loved ones. Life is not promised. After today, who knows what can happen? So bless your loved ones, hug your loved ones today, do a random act of kindness for someone. Thank you for tuning in. Be sure to check out André J Donawa. Don't forget the J when you're Googling his name, else you'll get the wrong André. And it's been a pleasure having him here with us tonight on the Victory Speaks show. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, the Donna Donnie Music.
Donna
There,
Donnie Music.
yeah, that's the man there. And if you want to hire him, you got to talk to his management company. Because he's
Shout out to
wanted by
Kira.
many.
Shout out to Kira.
Hey, and we're loving them. So thank you so much for tuning in. This is Nicole Waldron, Victory Speaks, and Andre J. Donawa. We thank you for tuning in to the show tonight. You
Thank you
have
for
a
having me.
wonderful week. And
Thanks
any
to
last
everyone
words,
that tuned
Andre?
in. Sorry?
Any last
Well,
words?
thank you for having me, Nicole,
Oh,
and
it's a pleasure.
thanks everyone for tuning in. It was a really nice interview.
Hey, loved having you. Peace, everyone, and good night.